baby. We got a straight one for you this week.
That's right. Are you a football fan?
Do you like watching a wig slowly slide back over a 45-minute interview?
Do you want to get into a deep interview with lots of detailed questions?
Do you like being gay, guy? This is the episode for you. This week we have incredible Sam Taggart here, and we're going to have a wonderful time.
That's right. So stop screaming.
Yeah, we don't scream at all. You're acting like a real gay guy.
Oh. Mom!
When your first choice is a big old bus,
You turn around and boom, you end up with us. Sloppy seconds. Oh, diva. Our number is 213-536-9180. Our email is sloppysecondspod@gmail.com. Now on with the show. Hi, you sloppy stupid little you got so you dirty. I got the sloppy saying with Big Dipper and Meatball. I'm Meatball, and that's Big Dipper.
hello. And for those tuning in for maybe the first time here on episode 400 and whatever, if you notice Meatball trying to cover the mic, it's because we've heard you loud and clear. We understand that the yelling is hard.
Although for some of you, it's what makes it fun to listen to. A lot of you don't like it. So today's episode, I'm going to try to stay quiet.
No, not try to stay quiet.
I'm gonna
Try to
talk
stay
normal.
even.
Stay even.
Because it's when you spike.
It's when I talk loud.
Yeah.
Did you have fun in New York? Did you have fun in New York?
Yeah, New York is a great city.
It's a beautiful place. I ate pizza 7 days in a row.
One might do that. You
My
know, we
pancreas
could
hurts.
ask our guests about things that happen in New York.
Oh, because they're from there?
Yes.
Please welcome. He's a comedian, a writer. Let's just start over.
Why not?
No, that was tasteful.
Please. Tasteful.
You were like, these were two
These
descriptions
are
of me.
things. These are words.
Okay.
He's a comedian, a writer, and a mustache haver. Please welcome to the stage, Sam Taggart. Welcome on stage.
Wow.
Hi, Sam.
It's such an honor to be here.
Is it Taggart?
Taggart, yeah.
Taggart.
Oh,
Okay.
Taggart?
But Taggart is beautiful as well.
Thank you so much.
Is that French Canadian?
You know, it's maybe Scottish,
Oh,
Irish,
okay,
something
okay.
along
I
those
feel
lines.
that. I
That
like
makes
that.
sense.
Um,
Are you a kilt wearer?
Not yet, but I think I want to be.
It happens a lot at the Eagle.
I've seen, I've witnessed, and I've been like, wait, that seems kind of fun.
Yeah.
Catch a breeze up there, especially during the
Sure.
summer.
Oh, I mean, people tell me how hot it gets here.
It gets boiling hot here. My first year that I moved here, there was a heat wave and it hit 113 degrees one day. They were like, old people, go to a movie.
And they were like, but I hate cinema.
They're like, there's nothing good out.
Where did you move from?
I moved from New York. Sing it with me. Concrete jungle.
Where dreams are
Made
made
of.
of.
There's nothing you can't do.
Never gets old.
Wow.
So,
I'm here from New York too.
what made you move
You
here?
soft move.
I
Soft
soft
move.
moved.
What
I
an LA thing to say.
I soft moved. I started writing for After Midnight, and so I'm here for that. And it's that thing where I was like, what? Like it was like starting, and so I was like, what? This could be canceled in one day. I
Sure.
don't know if I'm living here.
Right.
So I came for that, and now it's like going, and then now we're going till the end of August, and I'm like, well, that's kind of a long time. So now I feel like maybe
Yeah,
I'm
end
living
of
here.
August. That's like more months.
There's a couple more months.
That's
I don't
a
know when this
couple more
episode comes
months.
out, but it's definitely coming
More
up. You know what I mean? Our dear friend Marcella was just on.
Yeah,
I'm
she's great.
upset. She's
So
horrifying.
She was
Well,
very.
start there.
Scares
She was
me.
How
very
so?
intimidating.
She's just intimidating,
When she
but she's
came on
very
the pod.
funny.
She's very funny.
But it's like I'm also very scared of her. You know what I mean?
Sure. I haven't felt the fear yet, but
Can
I look forward to it.
Analyze that?
Because she's tall and pretty.
No, I think it's because you put all that on to have confidence, and she just is.
Well, also she.
And so that's like very intimidating because it's like you and I are like, we have stage names and like we only do performance in the gay space. You know what I mean?
She
And
eats
she's
it
just
up.
like, I'll do whatever because I'm good.
That could be it. That could be it.
That's my analysis.
So are you always afraid of confident people?
I'm not scared of you.
Well, who says I'm confident?
I'm just kidding.
Voice cracks.
Who says that show is very cool.
Yes.
It's fun.
I love the format of that show, and my friend, I had friends who did the sort of older version that Chris Hardwick did,
hmm
and I loved the experience of watching what the writers do
Mhm.
on that show, because there's like a lot of opportunity for just like constant pitches and tons of jokes.
Yeah.
Is it fun to write on that show?
It is very fun. It's very comedy forward. All it is jokes and and everyone in the room is really fun. And like we're writing for comedians, so
Right.
it's like they'll get it, and then you're like, and then like if they're like, I like this one, but I'd rather it be like this, and we like come up with what it should be for them, and
That's cool.
It's really fun.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, you do well.
I don't know. I might get nervous if they're too confident.
When have you ever been nervous?
Not really ever. No, I'm a nightmare person.
Aw.
Aw.
Aw, little nightmare.
I'm a little nightmare. So, how are you adjusting to LA from New York?
Not great.
Oh,
Have you been here before for this long?
I've visited, but never been here for this
And
long.
you don't like it.
It's not that I don't. It's fine. I don't want to be a hater of your
No, go
community.
for it. No, you know what? Go for it.
hey,
What don't you like?
drink the hateration.
No bodegas.
Literally.
No pizza every corner.
No,
No.
you
Oh,
can't
everything
do,
here closes at night.
Yeah, you
Yes.
can't do anything after 10.
No one's doing anything ever.
Never.
Like,
Everyone's just in their houses, and they're like, "Do you want to come over?"
also, like, just now is the weather starting to get nice. It has been cold and rainy for the last 3 months.
I saw an
That's-
info meme. Don't know whether it was credited or sourced.
More rain than Seattle.
That's what I saw.
More rain than Seattle. It's usually not this bad.
It's been freezing and wet.
It's usually already hot and gorgeous.
I've been lied to,
well,
and
Someone lied to you.
and I'm not-
Several.
several times.
and I'm not a great driver. I don't prefer to drive.
Oh.
I was in a gas station like 2 days ago, and
What's that?
over what? Oh,
I have
right,
an
electric car.
because I care about the environment.
Okay,
Oh.
so the equivalent was like I was waiting in a Walmart parking lot.
Kill yourself.
Okay. I was in a gas station getting snacks and I overheard some lady, she was like, "Yeah, I was here yesterday." And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." I didn't know what they were talking about, but she was done with her transaction. She sort of like picked up her items off the counter and she was like, "I'm honestly just a horrible driver." And then like walked out, and I was like, "What? What world are you living in where you're just like,
At least you know.
I guess,
At
but
least
then
you
you get
know.
behind the wheel?"
Do you
I mean,
think-
there's no other way to get around.
no, absolutely not. Well, there's Ubers.
Ugh.
But we have a very loose train system here.
Yeah, that's true.
How could you be a better driver?
Yeah, what do you think your problem is?
I'm just very. I'm either too cautious or I don't care. Like,
Ah.
like I'm either like sitting in a lane of traffic for too long because I'm like I don't even need to be in that lane. I can move over, but I'm like, but that would take so much effort to like move over, so I'll just sit there.
Uh-huh.
Or I'm like parking and I'm like, who cares if I bump them a bit? Like,
Not that. Who cares?
Who cares if I
I'm-
bump
I
a
don't
little?
care.
people being upset that you run into them a little, they need to grow up.
Yeah, that's true. They need to get it together.
They really do.
Cars are meant to be touched.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're meant to be tough.
ever heard of bumper cars?
Someone bumped into mine a little too hard and bent the license plate. So
Oh.
I don't love that. But when I was just in New York, my friend.
Well, you're gonna get a new one eventually.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
why not? My friend was reversing out of like a very tight New York parking spot and just rammed into the car behind him and then rammed into the one in front of him. And he went, "Oops, it's New York." I was like, "That's not. You don't have to do that. You could easily. You don't have to do that. You can easily pull a turn." Mark that. We're gonna have to turn the volume down because I got loud.
I saw. I used to. That was how I thought about Chicago,
Yeah.
and especially in the winter, parallel parking with that much snow.
Nightmare.
You just sort of threw your body weight around inside too. I drove like a tin can, like an old Corolla. And I'm like, I could hip check this car into the parking spot if need be.
Yeah. I'm also like, I don't know
Yeah.
how to go out. Like,
I was about to say it's very different than like the Brooklyn scene.
yeah.
Did you go out a lot in New York?
I went out a good
Constant,
amount.
right?
I went out a
What
lot.
were your hot spots?
I mean, I would do sort of like
Really hard on the past tense there. It's a soft move.
it's a soft move. I could be back any
I
second.
feel it for you here, baby boy.
I mean,
Where would you go?
Well, I'd go to, I do the Exley Singers $3 bill.
Mhm.
I go to Nowhere. If I'm brave, I'll go make my way to the Eagle, but who has the time?
It is kind of
Um,
far
You
off
can
the
kind of
beaten
get
path,
lost in there. It's in the middle of nowhere.
but I
yeah.
think it's getting more fun to attend.
Depends on, I think it's Hell's Kitchenified
Oh,
a bit too
interesting.
much.
Mm.
Like it used to be like truly just like weird old men in a way that I preferred, and
Yes,
now it's
as we
like
all prefer.
all these
Exactly
like
what I want.
now it's like fit guys like being ironic
Yes.
about it.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
Last time I went, it was just a bunch of like young dudes and like muscly white men, and I was like, "This is not what I came here for. Where are the daddies? Where's
Yeah.
the leather gear?"
And you can still kind of find them upstairs, but like only kind of. The downstairs it's a nightmare. Um yeah, that's
And so
Now, how does the eagle here hold up?
I
Wasn't it
love the eagle
shocking?
here.
No, was it shocking
It's
getting there and it being like, why are we on a patio? Why is it so small?
Why is it like so quiet? Why I'm addicted to it. I feel like I'm in someone's backyard and it's like a barbecue.
is that where you would go? You go mostly here?
Last week I went to the Eagle 4 times in 1 week.
It's a
Good
good
for you.
time.
And I was truly like, this is getting embarrassing.
Were they like smiley to you?
They were.
Okay, so they know.
The bartenders there are very nice.
Yeah,
They seem nice.
it's a nice squad of dudes.
They're a little bit afraid of a circuit box. But besides that, they're really nice.
Well, they're human. They can have their fears as well.
It's fine, but not all of them. You don't get to look that hot and manly. And
Also, first of all, they're all hot. Second of all, half of them use the bar, and yes, I'm talking to you. Use the bar as like their own photo shoot before every shift.
I know
It's
exactly what you're talking about.
It's
yeah.
amazing.
I think
but
I
I'm
know
also
who you're
like,
talking about as well.
you're like, keep it coming with the amazing ass pics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like that. Imagine,
Yeah.
imagine
coming into the
going
coming
to
into the
work.
studio and being like, "Here's my."
You don't
You know
do
what
that?
I mean?
Yeah, what's different?
I mean,
Honestly, 20 minutes ago, that was what.
But I just love that. Like, oh, gotta go do my shift at work. Started off with getting naked and taking a selfie. Like, I love that energy.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like there's a lot of like Twitter porn people though that also like have office jobs and then like take like underwear bathroom pictures and they're like at the office.
There is a
Yes.
It's
guy
like, huh?
who is a doctor.
Huge. Congratulations to him.
Wears
Major.
That's huge.
I
I'm so
think
proud.
he wears like
I bet his parents love him.
I bet they
look
love him.
like, they look like jock pouches, but I think they're thongs
Okay.
every day under his scrubs. And he is heavily worked out and he is always posting and very, very VPL in the jock pouch or the underwear pouch. And every day in the bathroom at the hospital, taking a selfie, showing off what his underwear is under the scrubs. And I'm
Dr.
like,
Cock.
you are so hot to be a doctor.
I've heard of Doc Ock, but Doc.
Baby.
Let's take a
Spider-Man's. Okay. you
break,
go.
and
take a
we'll
break.
be-
We'll be right back.
Right back. The new Stars series, Mary and George, starring Julianne Moore and Nicholas Galitzine, tells a story almost too outrageous to be true, but shockingly, it is. With next to nothing to her name and looking to elevate her social standing, Mary Villiers sets her handsome and charming son George on the path to seduce King James I and become his all-powerful lover. You've never seen a mother and son duo like this before. This show is full of wit, scandal, action, and did I mention Julianne Moore? Okay, something this audacious and sexy is as genre-bending as it gets, and you won't be able to look away. Watch the season premiere of Mary and George now, only on Stars and the Stars app.
And we're back. What inspired you to do comedy?
Honestly, I really liked comedy growing up, but when I was in college, I was sort of like, oh, I'm gonna be serious now and I'm gonna be really smart. And I like took a poetry class and I was like, damn, like I have so many feelings. This is amazing and perfect. And I would like write a poem and then read it, and it would be like about like, someone who like accidentally killed someone, and like how like powerful this like is, and and then
How
like
you feel about driving? You're like,
basically it was a
"Ah, I killed him.
premonition.
No
It was a
big deal."
premonition. And I would be like, I would read it out loud, and people would be like, "That's so funny," and I was like, "Okay, so it's a curse. I'm actually forced into this." And yeah, and sort of I also just don't have any skills in any other field. So
I feel that.
so that's sort of how it got me. Is that good?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
it's so funny.
So funny.
Shut
I
up!
was
That was
thinking
supposed to be bearing my soul.
poetry.
No, that I mean, it is interesting when the path opens up for you,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, I guess I go here.
Well, then you're like leaving college, and everyone's like, "It's so hard to get a job," and you're like, "Okay, then I don't want one." Like it's. If
And
it's
they're
that
like,
hard,
I actually, yes, same. I was like, what can I do to not ever have to actually work?
yeah.
We're of the
Someone the other day asked me, did you
generation.
ever have a real job? Like, said that to me, and I was like, huh. I guess when I was in college, I worked at J. Crew for a little while, for like a couple of years to like pay for food. And he went, no, that's not a real job.
What
And
do
I
they
was like,
mean? What do
the
they
It
mean?
fuck
meant
does
like
a
an
real
office job, right?
But what makes that more real than me like doing front facing merchandising?
It's like I think, well, they're being closed minded, first of all. So you're a bigot. But also I think what they're thinking is the sort of like the stereotype of the what are you looking at? My boobs in their shirt?
I was just looking at which run of shirts that was. Continue.
Early.
I could tell.
They're thinking of like the typical stereotypical rat race of like wake up, hit the alarm, put on a suit, go to the office.
Never. Did you ever have to do that?
The closest I had was I did a social media job for like a year that was like social media for hotels, but it was kind of fake because the company was a scam.
Was the whole job like,
what?
no one's in these rooms. Come have an enjoyable stay.
So the job, literally the entire agency, it was the brother of a guy who ran like a really prestigious marketing agency. So he got to use the name of the marketing agency and like be like blah 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 socials. And it was like not the same company, but he like got to like
Say it was.
say it was, and like meet with big hotels and be like, I'm actually working for them, and they'd be like, well, that's one of the greatest brands of marketing there is, and they would be like, all signed up, and it literally was just like this one sociopath guy who like then would hire people to do. It would just be like find wonder, and post.
I want to do a job like that.
No, you don't.
I want
You
to
would
scam
hate
these
it.
bitches.
It was kind of tight. It was like because
Tight.
before that I was a dog walker, and that like
a real job.
it was a real job, but it sucked. I mean, it was fun for a bit, but then like I did it for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
Jeez.
you nannied for a while, right?
I was a nanny, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I did. I was like, I had to have worked when I moved out here. I was a nanny for about 5 years until the kids started punching me in the head. And said, it's time for me to go.
And he was like, finally, that's what I've been working toward. Oh my God. I
Yeah.
had so many wild jobs.
Like what?
Like, yeah.
Just like,
What if we didn't ask?
Yeah. I've had some wild jobs.
Yeah. So
how long have you had
anyway,
that mustache for?
well, yeah, that's how it usually goes.
Sorry, what wild
What
jobs?
wild
did you
Well,
jobs
have?
I
were
guess maybe
they?
they weren't wild jobs, but I had a litany of jobs starting very young. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh, you were child labor at a
my
Chinese
parents,
restaurant?
my parents were like, anytime you ask us for money, we're writing it down on a piece of paper and you will be paying us back. Oh, you want to go to the movies for $5? And yes,
Doesn't that
I'm
sound
that old. The movies cost
Doesn't
$5.
that sound like real love to your parents? Be like, if you want
Yeah.
enjoyment, you owe us.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
Yeah,
Because
but I
stuff
worked-
does cost money.
Stuff does cost money.
But you are
and
also
when
a
you're
child.
when you're 11 or 12, you want stuff.
Yeah, you want to see a movie.
Yeah.
That's normal.
So I worked at a Chinese restaurant in the kitchen. I used to mow lawns in the neighborhood. I worked at an animal hospital. I was like at art school.
Euthanizing.
I was
the
gonna ask.
animals.
Did you put them down?
No, I would carry them to the freezer.
Oh,
While they were still kicking?
No, they
Oh.
would get the injection, and then I would do the annoying like labor of like putting them
Dipper,
in a
that is
bag.
so dark.
Was it sad?
Yes,
How did you process the
would you-
trauma?
I'm emotionally cold.
Wow.
And then I would also get to count out prescription meds.
1 for you, 2 for me. 1 for you,
That's how
2
you would
for
do
me.
it.
No, I'm not done with the dead animals. Dipper, are you
No.
okay?
I'm
What's
okay.
the largest animal you had to carry?
A Great Dane?
Oh, solo?
No, there
Oh
was
my god,
2
I'm
of
gonna
us.
gag. That's so gross.
Gross isn't even the word I would use,
I
though.
think it's gross.
But I mean, and the like, I don't know if there are like, I'm sure there are like restrictions on if you could like do an internship at the morgue or not.
Sure.
But like at an animal hospital, it's like they were like okay with having a high school student working there.
So are you like super chill with death now, or?
I mean, I'm taking from my co-host.
Ready to go.
Whenever.
You ever feel like that?
You're ready to die whenever?
Sure.
Oh.
I've done enough.
Yeah.
Huh.
I've had a
Do
great
you
life.
feel like at peace?
No, I don't even like know where I'm living. I need to have an apartment.
Well, when you're dead, you don't need that.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I'm saying.
I don't feel like I'm allowed to die until I have an apartment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
One
I'm
just opened up in
subletting.
my building. Do you want a 2-bedroom?
I mean, I just feel
Parking's bad.
See, and
Parking is great on our street.
No, but getting to and from your
Oh yeah, it's
street.
kind of hard to get up on there. It's in Los Feliz off the
Oh,
boulevard.
sure.
Does any of that make any sense to you?
I know Los Feliz.
Great. So you were a TV writer. You wrote on Z-Way.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Beautiful, gorgeous, stunning.
Did you write for the George Santos interview?
No, I didn't write for that one.
Okay, that one
Unfortunately.
was so funny.
It was incredible.
But what was it like writing for her and like watching her star rise so quickly?
It was fun. I mean, I knew her like in Brooklyn stand up before.
Mm.
So it didn't feel like I didn't like know her as like the famous Z-Way.
Yeah.
So I think it was a little bit less intimidating, honestly. And I also like everyone in the room was like a Brooklyn comedian that I already had a relationship with, so it was like a pretty good experience. I mean, I will say like it's funny to like there were moments where it was like you're really like digging to make people feel discomfort,
Yeah.
and there's a point where you're like, okay, I would love to just like not feel uncomfortable for 1 second today.
Well, because you got brought out once or twice onto that stage.
Oh,
and
yeah.
made to feel the
They
discomfort.
really
Very
played with you.
uncomfortable. Yeah, they love to do that over there. But it was fun. It was a whole. I mean,
It was fun.
I've never watched the last episode
Oh, really?
because I'm like, I know I am so. It's gonna be so embarrassing to see, and I'm okay with other people seeing it. I just know I cannot see it.
Right.
Yes, right. That's like very performer mind. Sometimes you're just like, I'm gonna never watch that take.
Yeah.
It is cool. I feel like that show happened. There was like a moment when I feel like, I mean, maybe it's still going on and will sort of forever go on when you are surrounded by talented peers. But it felt like that show and a couple others were like in this moment of like everyone from that scene in Brooklyn was sort of having this huge catapult onto like, oh, everyone's just like, everyone from the open mic is now on television.
Yeah.
Was that like a wild thing to just look around and everyone is like, including yourself? I mean, like having TV jobs all of a sudden.
It was wild and still kind of is wild. I mean, even being here now, like, you know, like I started doing open mics like with Joel Kim Booster,
Right.
and it's like now I'm in his house. Like he owns a house.
Right.
Yes, he
And I'm like,
does.
huh? Like none of it, it's like, and then, yeah, it's exciting to see
Yeah.
and like to sort of take stock and, you know, look back on the old days. But it doesn't feel like,
Old days.
It's like when
3 years ago.
when all your
3
friends get on Drag Race.
do you feel that when your friends get on Drag
Well, I
Race?
don't audition for it, so it is just funny to see like how they change after the show is done. But for the most part, they're like pretty normal, except for all the surgeries. Where I'm like, girl, you don't need to look like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it also feels like it's still in progress, you know,
Right.
like in the grand scheme of comedy, it still feels like we're all, you know, scraping to get in,
Just doing drop-ins with Ellen.
but just drop-ins with Ellen.
Have you seen Ellen while you've been out here?
Oh, we get dinner every single night.
I love her. She's so
She's
kind.
so kind.
So kind and
So
lovely.
kind and lovely.
How long have you had the mustache for?
So that's a real question.
Yes. That's what he was staring at me because I already asked it and we moved on. And
You're
he
like,
really
I heard it
needed me-
before.
So it sounded sort of comedic.
no, it's a
no,
real
Well,
question.
it could be comedy.
Ab-
of
above it,
course.
the real question is: so you're really a Brooklyn gay guy then?
You're like a gay guy
from
and you live in
Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
You heard of it?
Gay guy?
Soft move
A
to
gay
LA.
guy, soft
gay
move.
guy.
Yeah, I've
Gay
had the
guy.
mustache for 6 years now.
Damn.
Is that interesting?
Damn. Damn.
No, but did you? Okay, I've shaved my beard once or twice, and while doing so, experimented with
Different hair.
different hair. Did you sort of come upon, or was it very intentional?
It's just a very Brooklyn gay guy thing to have.
Okay, yeah, it is a Brooklyn gay guy thing to have. I'm a Brooklyn gay guy.
Okay,
Who just happens to be-
geez.
Oh my
What do you
God.
It
think,
wasn't
the
an
JMs
attack. I was
I'm
just
being
saying
attacked.
I'm
I'm being
being
attacked.
Stop!
I'm being attacked.
What do you take the JMZ somewhere?
Get
I
on
Hop
the
on
L?
that L train?
I did a beard for a while.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Hideous. Looked horrible. Not yours, mine. I really tried to sell mine and it like wasn't looking good.
Okay.
And then I just was sort of lazy for a while, sort of an indescribable scruff.
Mm.
And then I said, "What am I doing? Let's commit to something."
Okay.
And I did the mustache, and it's really stuck with me.
Yeah.
I feel like it fits, and I'm a Brooklyn gay guy, and I'm happy to present as Brooklyn gay guy.
Perfect.
All signs
Love that.
point to yes.
Love a Brooklyn gay guy.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Let's take a break.
A mustache is really something you have to commit to. You can't, once you have it, like, you can't ever get rid of it now. It's like your thing.
Yeah, it has been long enough where I can't get rid of it easily.
Because then the minute you do, everyone's going to be like, there's something
Yeah,
off.
and my face will look weird and
Yeah.
potentially bad.
And your son will like cry because he won't
Of
be able
course.
to
I
recognize
remember when my dad
you.
shaved his mustache off and I cried. And then one time my
Did you
mom
really?
dyed her. Yes, because I was like, I don't know this man.
Yeah.
And then one time my mom dyed her hair in front of me or like walked into the bathroom while she was dyeing it. And I was like, no! I just didn't like change. We'll be right back after this break. I'm going to take that one up with my therapist. And we're back. Do you think it's weird that my therapist knows him?
I do think that's weird. In what capacity?
Yeah.
Not like personally, just in
They
the.
just like hooked up.
No. No. My therapist
I
isn't a
asked that.
75-year-old man. So
That's not out of the question.
for him, it is. He only old dudes.
Oh! I thought
She
you were
said
saying
her
he
therapist
is.
isn't. Yeah.
You said is not.
Is
Got
not. Sorry. No, he just knows of him in the zeitgeist of like gay, what would you call this? Podcasting?
Well, I'm
Media.
an international recording artist.
No, you're not an international recording artist. That would mean that you recorded internationally. You are an international.
Well, your songs are on Spotify in Mexico, I presume.
Thank
But he didn't
you.
record them there.
Check the streams, doll.
Check
You
the
check them. I'm
stream.
worried. Anyway, is that weird? That my therapist knows who he is?
I think it is weird.
I do too.
Really?
I mean, I guess
Should I
so.
get
Your
a new-
therapist is a gay guy
Gay guy.
from Brooklyn.
No mustache on that one. From LA. Older twink.
Older twink, huh? I don't think it's that weird. You know, Dipper is a someone that gay guys know.
Did you know Dipper before today?
I did.
Oh no.
I became aware of Dipper in, I want to say, 2013, 2014, you know?
The
Oh.
raps.
The raps.
Which one was your favorite?
That's a long time ago.
You know, I was living in Chicago, and, you know, you were sort of popping up on the internet.
I
I was
didn't know
sort of
you were
seeing
living
You
your
in
lived in
vibe.
Chicago?
I was living in Chicago.
That's how you know Joel.
No, I met him in New York,
Oh,
but
okay.
Love
my parents moved to Chicago when I was in college, so I was there for like summers and winters when I was on college breaks.
Ah.
And then I was doing like improv and stuff during that
Oh.
So you guys
time.
might have a lot of friends in common.
I didn't know you had a Chicago chapter.
So it was a
small brief.
and then I
Uh-huh.
moved to New York like 5 months after graduating college. So it was in and out type of thing with
Yeah.
Chicago. But yeah, and then you moved to New York, and I would see you at Metropolitan sometimes.
Yeah.
I reveal I've been like following you the whole time.
Well,
I used to be a fan.
I don't want to rehash. We talk about it too much.
I used to be a fan. Bought a T-shirt and everything.
Really? Bought a
Yeah,
T-shirt?
bought a T-shirt.
And look at you now.
Working with them.
Business
Business associates.
Speaking of business associates, let's talk about you and George. You have your podcast, StraightioLab.
Yes.
How did that start, and why?
And why?
And why?
And why?
And why?
That's a hard one.
That's a really hard one. I had no idea, honestly, that it was going to be so interview based. And
Really?
I celebrate it.
You mean this show?
Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
did you think we were gonna do?
Chit chat.
We could chit chat.
We're
We don't gotta.
chit-chatting.
No,
We
no,
don't
no.
gotta do this.
Look, I can't not comment on the podcast while you
On
make
the
the
form,
podcast.
on the
It's-
form.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
have to.
comment.
It's part of it.
We started the podcast mostly because we were like, it seems like we need a podcast if we want to succeed in this damn
Yeah,
town.
well.
Sorry to be cynical.
That's how we met.
Well,
I
yeah.
walked up to
I
her,
was blackout. I don't even remember.
and we had a nice chat, and I was like, that's someone I could talk to. And like the next message, like I followed her. It said follow back. And the next message was me saying, nice to meet you. Should we start?
I don't think it did because this was pre-Instagram
No, it
having that
wasn't.
function.
And then
So-
I just said, do you want to start a podcast? Like immediately, we weren't even friends. I was just like,
Wow.
you could be good to have a podcast with.
Yeah, George and I were friends, but not like best friends. And so it was just sort of like, I think we both want to do it. Let's try them.
Yeah.
And then we did like two. Oh,
I think a fly just came out of this wig.
Oh.
You caught it
eat it.
with those big meaty little grabs.
Wow,
Look how
you really
fucking
did
big
catch
his
it.
hand is.
That's impressive.
The size of his hand.
No,
We're catching it.
Both.
Oh,
Sam.
Samuel.
What? You
Whoa.
asked. Unbelievable.
And so,
Oh.
are you a RadioLab fan?
Jeez, right
No
back to the
way.
question.
Okay,
No,
fine. Let's chit chat.
No.
You do it.
No,
Oh
no,
my
no.
God.
No. I've never listened to it once in my life.
Stop. You're kidding.
Never once in my
You were
life.
just like StraightioLab. Perfect.
We were like, what names could we do? And we
That
were
is so
thinking of
funny.
puns, and we were like, StraightioLab's kind of funny.
Oh my
love
God.
RadioLab.
Really?
Yes.
He loves to know how the sausage is made.
Because I will call someone up and be like, do you know this crazy thing about shellfish? They actually like decide the seasons or whatever. Because they will get into the nitty gritty over there on that RadioLab.
Wow. So we even were like basing it off, like we were like, oh, it's StraightioLab, we'll explore straight topics. But even that, we were like, I think RadioLab explores topics, so it's sort of like that.
And then you're like, actually, we're just going to
And, now
interview,
we
we're going to chit chat with our friends.
We're gonna chit chat with our friends and then be like, and this is straight. And sometimes we theorize. We like to find ourselves in little theories.
He loves to
All right, I've got a
theorize.
straight topic to talk about.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's talk straight.
Girth Brooks. You know about Girth
You
Brooks?
know about my boy?
No,
Well,
Well, let me tell you about him.
you don't mean Garth Brooks.
No, we mean Girth Brooks, the porn star porn actor from the early aughts.
yes.
Who
Who is
Straight.
Congratulations.
He
I bet his
got
parents are
married and
proud.
quit doing porn. I believe they divorced. Something happened because all of a sudden,
Clearly, he's
2 or 3
he's
weeks ago, he
single.
goes, he just pops up on Twitter.
He didn't have one.
Didn't have a Twitter at
Oh.
all. And then just pops up on X and says, if I get 15,000 followers, I'll show hog.
And I think he say hog.
Maybe. And I
Wait, I saw this.
No,
tweet.
he said I'll release the Kraken.
I saw this tweet.
Which is
And I
such-
reposted it
such
immediately and
a
went like,
straight thing
bring
to
back
say."
daddy! Oh, daddy, daddy! Oh,
Such
sorry.
a straight,
Oh, daddy, daddy!
such a straight thing to say. I'll release the.
And then he released it. And it's still big, still
That's
thick,
good.
still heavy.
Added veins.
Yeah, the age has veined it.
Huh.
And
It looks
now he's
juicy.
posting a lot of other things where I'm like, I don't want to know about your day-to-day life or your
Oh, like
personality.
posting thoughts.
Like
Well, he's
just
doing
like a picture of himself
videos.
with he drew a heart over his chest and was like, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I'm like, just keep posting hog.
The pivot to inspo is one of the darker things we can do.
Exactly.
Well said.
But do you think it's a straight behavior?
The pivoting, I mean, I do think it's more straight than it is gay. I'm trying to think because gay guys will
Hey
do
guys.
it. What's wrong with it?
No, it's just this podcast called Nympho Wars. They always
No, I love Nympho
when they
Wars.
say gay guys, they're
Oh,
always
is
like,
he
oh,
a
he's a
gay
gay guy.
guy?
Yeah. I think but it's like straight people I do think are a little bit more lost on the internet. Like there's less of a goal and they're like, I know I'm supposed to be here, but I don't know why.
Wow.
Oh.
So I think that's like they like find inspiration and are like, okay, I have to be inspirational.
Because he is like posting videos where he's like, hey guys, headed to run some errands. I think I'm gonna get some stuff for the deck out back. Have a great Saturday. Why'd
you post that?
What,
No one needed to know that, girl.
Spread your ass cheeks.
Yeah,
Like,
why don't you get a little throw a little foot up on there? I don't know, do something else. I don't think he is like inherently as horny as he needs to be.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're not there for the personality.
No, a picture of him and two other dudes, and I was like, oh, he's gonna post a threesome scene. But it was like, just went golfing with my buds.
Yes.
Beautiful day out.
And
Hope you're all doing well.
His buds are like not tagged and not on
Hot.
the internet.
And they're not having
not
sex with each
horny.
other.
No.
Yeah.
Not hot. You really went there.
I said it.
Oh,
Well, I don't really remember what they look
sure.
like. But in my
and you
mind,
would if they were hot.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Well, I mean, I think like there's also like they can't just be horny. Like gay people are allowed to just be horny on the internet.
Oh yeah.
And that's fully
Every
acceptable.
gay guy's got it all.
And even if you're not like if your brand isn't you're in the sex industry, you're still encouraged and allowed to be horny on the internet.
Yes.
And it's tasteful.
Look at Joel Kim Booster.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I feel like straight people they don't have that same freedom.
They don't understand.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the sadder things though is a good guy being inspirational and sexy. That's when I'm like, oh, you don't know any gay people. You are so lost. I feel
damaged.
radical empathy and therefore sadness when I see it.
Wow.